About 10 special schools in the country have been disconnected from the national grid for non-payment of electricity bills.
Some food distributors have also stopped supplying the schools due to delay in the disbursement of government subventions.
There are about 30 special schools with over 6,000 students in Ghana. Apart from infrastructural challenges, funding from governments is inadequate. Moreover, delays in disbursement of feeding grants by governments has left these schools heavily indebted. Feeding grants for last term, for instance, is yet to be paid.
Suppliers are no longer willing to supply items to the schools. Then secondly, an item which is on the market about 10 cedis today, by the time the grant comes, the supplier will say, okay, fine. When I supply the goods for 10 cedis, but now it's 40 cedis, and you charge you at that. But the grant doesn't take care of this sort of changes. So at the end of the day, if you're not very careful, you run into massive debts. So the special schools are in serious financial situations.
At the 36th Annual Conference of Heads of Special Schools in Accra, some heads say it is becoming difficult to run these institutions.
We have a very huge debt that we can never pay. We have more than 36,000. And we have a clinic, assessment clinic. And we have a grinding mill, we have carpentry tools, but we are not put on the third phase.
I use prepaid. We buy and then within a short period it's off. And I've tried, we've written to the people, but then nothing. In a week, one block uses about 200 Ghana cedis. I have 4 blocks. You can't sustain that.
Over 10 special schools, including the Hohwe Special School for Intellectual Disability, are currently operating in darkness.
Feeding grant, as the name implies, is for feeding. But what do you do as a head? You can't allow your school to go into darkness, so you're forced to take some of the money. And some of the schools are on postpaid, some on prepaid. Postpaid, the light is being switched off. Prepaid, we don't have enough resources to buy the credit or the distance to supply electricity to your school. So things are getting very, very dark in that area. My school, for instance, the administration block has been totally cut off because we owe the ECG about 3,000 Ghana cedis. And then waterworks, they're doing quite a bit. We owe them as well.
As Ghana plans to embark on an all-inclusive education and decentralization of the education sector, heads of special schools say it is important to pay critical attention to the needs of special students before implementing the policy.